Tiger. Hey, what's up, Tiger? Hello.
Oh,
Hey,
hello,
hey. Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Michael. I can.
Hey,
Sorry,
what's up?
I was on mute for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Can you? Are we live?
With
Because I have a black screen.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. We are live, but I do have a black screen too. I can see we're live on YouTube. What's
Oh,
up, Annie Ball? Back in, not sure what's going on here. Hook us up here.
oh, sorry. Let me.
But what's up, Tiger?
Let me. Let me. I had to turn my YouTube back to mute. Sorry. I think we're good now.
Oh, that's weird. I'm just still seeing a black screen here.
Yeah, we may
You can
have to
see
do
me?
like. Yeah. Well, no, but this happened a few times on quiet markets last week, so we just kind of had to fly blind. So, but the
Oh,
chat can
okay.
see us, and that's all that matters.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. Well, what's
But
going
yeah, this
on? How was your weekend?
wonderful. It was all right, man. So yeah, me and the missus, we went and took a walk. We went to a little walking trail kind of close to my house that kind of goes around a big lake. So it was just nice to unplug, get the heck away from the computer, the technology, the phone. Grabbed her pooch, and so put him on a collar, and we just went and took a walk, and it was awesome to
Right.
hear nature,
I love it.
smell the leaves that are fixing to start turning colors and fall off, by the way, here probably in the next few
Yep, it's
weeks.
getting that time of the year.
Yep, yep. So, yeah, we did that. And then we went and tried out a new barbecue joint. Well, new for me. She'd been there before.
Yeah.
But, man, listen. So, here in, have you heard of burn ends in barbecue?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, it's probably a regional thing. So that's it's a way that they cook up the meat, and I don't even know how to explain it,
Okay.
but it's like I guess it was got its start here in Kansas or Kansas City area, and so it's like spread nationwide now. But anyway, I looked on the menu and they had loaded mac and cheese with burn ends inside of it. So
Ooh, gotta
needless
love
to say,
it.
I went ham on that. Tried not to overeat because that stuff put me in a food coma, and it pretty much did anyway. But I ate half of it, and I had the other half just a little while ago for leftovers. So it was marvelous.
Oh man,
Yeah, super
love it.
marvelous.
I
So
love
fat and
this time
happy
of
on
year.
a Saturday. Fat and happy on a Saturday. That's right.
Nice,
But
nice,
no,
nice.
no, it was just a good relaxing day. And then yeah, today just up watching the football games. My Tennessee Titans are
Okay.
fighting the Broncos right now, so we'll see how
Mm,
the rookie quarterback does that we drafted number one overall. He's got to get his lumps in
yes.
early, right? Growing pains. I think they're trailing right now by going into halftime, but no, it's pretty good. Feeling pretty great today. Ready to tackle these markets. I did. Man, Friday night I was up till about 5 a.m. in the morning. Saturday, just rejuvenating
Mhm.
and studying some supply and demand um,
Right.
uh, techniques just to really further enhance it. So it was a really good late night. And then when I woke up Saturday, same thing. I was digging into it. So yeah, so I'm feeling pretty
Nice.
good about some. We all have our strategies, but there's always something we can learn to enhance it and tweak it, right?
For
Turn the
sure.
light on.
Absolutely. That's part of the game, right? Constant refinement.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited. That was well worth not getting a whole lot of sleep Friday night, but it's okay. I slept in
Mhm.
pretty good today. So yeah. How about yourself, my friend? Which beach party did you attend this weekend?
Funny, funny. Yeah, you sound like you know my routine, but you're right. That's exactly what
Yep.
we did. Um, Friday, my daughter, her new swim teacher, she came over, um, and she jumped right to it. To be honest, she did great. She did. My daughter does real good. We like prep her with like, hey, this is happening, whatever, whatever, so she can kind of know. You don't just surprise her. But we kept telling her she's gonna have swim lessons in like 2 days. So Friday finally came. She got there about 4, and she did good. Like really, really, really good. She's not scared of the water. Is the main thing. Like when you learn how to swim, or you're learning, and you can't swim yet, the water could be a very dangerous, scary thing. The water, that is.
Yeah.
But she's not really scared of it. So she jumps
Yeah.
in and everything. Yeah, she had a good time. So she said she'll come back. We'll do Wednesday, so every Wednesday, which is great for me because that's not when I'm on the stream. She'll come around
Yeah.
2:30, and so she can come a little bit earlier, so it can be a little warmer. And yeah, so that was Friday. Saturday, of course, we did our regular beach party. Everybody showed up, of course. That's like the thing to do.
Yep.
And,
Nothing better where you live.
Yeah, had some good paddleboard, some snorkeling, swimming, drinks, food, the whole nine. And
Whole nine.
yeah, woke up today, got my Spanish lesson knocked out, and pretty much relaxed. The ladies just left to get some food. I jumped on here,
Nice.
and that's about it.
Good stuff, man. What's up, Annabelle? Nice to see you in the chat. We're going to go through some COT data and such here in a bit, go over a few charts. So if there's anything you or anybody else that's watching wants us to take a look at, fundamentally, technically, sentiment, any of that, give us a message, man, and we'll do it. No, that's good, man. I would be surprised if you did anything other than a beach party on a weekend.
No, for sure. Someone's required.
Yeah, that's right.
Every Saturday at least.
Yep.
No, I'm the same way. Like literally, around 5 o'clock on Friday, I literally cut my computer off, and like shortly before the stream at about 5, we get on at 4:45, so 5:55. Yeah, about 5 Eastern. I'll cut it back on. Yep. Like I don't want to even look at none of this stuff. So when I jump on here and cut the computer on, this is like my first time seeing the markets for that this week. So yeah, man, ready to jump into it. I mentioned last week on Friday, got this new account. So got the new account set up. I did connect it to my journal. So ready to kick some ass, to say the least, this week.
Nice.
See what we can do with this account.
So a new account? What was that? What kind of account is that?
The challenge account is the 300K challenge account that I got. Okay. See if we can make some moolah. Get this nice.
Make some more side dough. Nice. There you go.
Yeah.
There you
go.
Good.
Crazy enough,
Good deal.
The weirdest part is I had literally just got a new 100K account like 2 weeks before. No, that was the 31st. I want to say.
Yeah.
Actually, now I gotta look to see. Oh yeah, here it is. So August 31st, the last day, because I think we was on the session that day. Netio Merchado said something about wanting to challenge yourself and just do a new challenge. No, that's good. Like I haven't done a challenge in a minute. I want to do something exciting, right? Like something fun.
Yeah.
So I actually got an account at the end of the month, ready to, this last week actually. Then I noticed all last week we had that crazy news, and I'm like, oh, maybe this isn't the best time to try this challenge right now. I'll do it the following week, which would be this week. And then I saw we got those codes for the account. So yeah, grab the 300K account and see if I can't push this bad boy on up. Make it happen here.
Speaking of, man. Yeah, speaking of, I haven't even taken a look yet at the economic calendar this week. Okay, so Sunday. Okay, so it looks like we got a little OPEC meeting going on today. Orange folder event. Monday, nothing, which is typical of Mondays. We don't typically, for anybody in chat, we don't normally get a whole lot of stuff going on Mondays as far as red folder, orange folder events. So it's really, it's all about the middle part of the week and latter part of the week. Tuesday is a light week as well. That's Swiss franc. Looks like they're doing just an orange folder event for the Swiss National Bank chairman Schlegel. Will be flapping his lips.
Schlegel.
And then Schlegel. Oh, hold on. I'm getting some sound somewhere. I got to turn off. Oh. Woo! Sorry, that was my ESPN website. I have the stats on there just to keep track of my game. Obviously, since I'm on streams, I'll just glance at it from time to time. But every now and then, it'll play a video, so I gotta pause it. But anyway, yeah, back to Schlegel. Yeah, so that's a 6:50 a.m. on Tuesday Central Standard Time, so 7:50. So not a big deal. He's going to be speaking again Wednesday morning at about the same time, about 7:50 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I should just lead off with Eastern Standard Time, but yeah, the first red folder event we get is Core PPI.
Wednesday.
Let me just.
Man, that's not till Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah, Wednesday.
See, this is the type of news week that I like, right? And I say that not to steal your flame here, but we don't have late news at all except on Friday at 10. I'm fine with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But that Friday, how we got 10 a.m. News, I don't like it when it's at 10, as I always say. I want it to be anything before that. 8:30 is perfect. 8:15, 8 o'clock, 8:45, all of that's fine. I just don't want it to be after 9 o'clock Eastern. That's my main thing. So this actually looks like a perfect week to kick off this challenge.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I mean, here for the U.S. reports, most of the reports are usually thrown out about an hour before New York opens. Okay, there's obviously different reports that go in different times, but on average, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, so an hour before the stock market opens. That's typically when most of the U.S. red folder events are released. So it's, I think, by design that they do it like that. Gives the big, the institutions a chance to prep a little ahead of time. And then obviously the report comes out, and then it gives them basically an hour to cuss and discuss their moves with their teams, right? So it's great when they do that. Like Michael says, it's a pain in the ASS whenever they throw them around different weird times, for at least our kind of the way we trade anyway, so
exactly.
But yeah, that's Wednesday at 7:30 for the PPI data. 8:30 Eastern Standard Time for the PPI data, and then that's it for Wednesday. Now we do have New Zealand's Governor Hawkesby is going to be speaking, flapping his lips, however you want to say that. 7:15 New York time. But yeah, it's all about PPI data on Wednesday. That's the main thing, and yeah, that's an hour before New York stock market opens. So Thursday, Europe. So the Euro, they're going to be releasing their main financing rate decision. So it looks like they're projecting to keep that unchanged at 8:15 New York time. And then the statement at the same time. And then at 8:30, we got the U.S. Consumer Price Index report. So the CPI, the inflation, however you want to, refer to it as. All that's coming out. So that'll be obviously a big deal here in the States. The normal unemployment claims is released at the same time. So again, that's 8:30 New York time. And then Euro's press conference to 30 minutes after their decision rate release, so that they can cuss and discuss and try to sell us on what they're doing, what they're looking at, right? And that's 9/11. So that's obviously a big day here in the States. 9/11 memorial, right? So, yeah, I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of remembrances here in the States for that. Probably abroad as well. I imagine a lot of other countries probably keep that close to them as well. But then we'll round out Friday with the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment at 10 a.m. New York City time. But before that, actually, just before we go on Friday, we'll have 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's a little ahead of our stream, but the British Pound, the GDP report. So that'll be their red folder event. So that's kind of rounds us out. Let me look here. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's
Let me
the one
refresh.
I'll watch out for, right? So I'll say it'll take
Oh,
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is fine, but that Friday, that's where it's a little careful there. I would be
yeah.
more
I just
lenient to
now
want to trade
realized.
some.
Looks like we got our screen sharing, Michael. So, yeah. So here's the calendar I just mentioned. So yeah, that's it. I mean, I like it. I like the early. I'm right there with you. I like the early report releases. That way, it gives us the whole rest of the intraday session to do our thing. So
Right.
PPI,
Sweet.
CPI, yeah. So good deal. So that's the economic calendar there. Let me just get this out of my way. Close pull. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay. All right. So we got the calendar out of the way. And now we can take a look at the COT report. And just looking at the overall positioning, I mean, gold and silver are still at the very top over here as far as their overall positioning. This is what position traders like to see, right? Longer term position traders, obviously the big banks, the financial institutions, um, you know, entities of that nature. So they're both well, silver's right at 80%, gold's just a little ahead, about 82%. So that's where the big money's been, and it's been there for a while, Michael. I was actually just looking at the history of gold right before the stream started, and that's this fun little chart here. So this shows their overall positioning since, well, I just threw it out since March, but I mean, they've just consistently been over the 50% line, obviously, the whole time. They had a little bit of a dip in May, but they've just steadily been increasing their long positioning. And this last week was a huge jump. I mean, they added a lot of positioning. You see the blue bar here. So the red
Right.
is how many short sell positions they're in, and then obviously the blue is their longs. So clearly net long by a mile, and then this is kind of a little bit of a moving average, just kind of showing the differences from
Mm.
week to week. So yeah, quite the spike in blue right there. So if we're looking
Yeah.
at the week to week right here, let's see here. Oh yeah, I forgot it. Okay, so yeah, 0.88% increase for gold, and then silver though leading the way, 4.25% increase on their longs. So silver trying to play a little catch up, or the banks are trying to play a little catch up because they have been focused a little more on gold, I think, lately. But yeah, a little bit better of a movement. So I think last week I was talking about how they didn't really increase or decrease anything that much. Anything
Mm-hmm.
between 2% or -2%, so kind of that 4% window there is just kind of negligible as far as I'm concerned. But we had a little bit of spike
Exactly.
on the treasuries. Looks like they're positioning for the inevitable interest rate cut that we've got coming up on, was at the 17th, so 10 days. Okay.
Yeah.
So that, and
Next
then looks
Wednesday,
like the
right?
Aussie.
17th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Okay. Cool.
But as far as increases on currencies, Aussie and the Swiss led the way with Aussie 2.73%, Swiss franc 3.15%. So that was the popular currencies in the class for the week. And if we flip to the opposite end, Nasdaq, Dow, Nikkei, those indices got a big sell off from the banks. And then
Mm.
looks like the S&P was 1.5% gain. Russell was almost 2% gain. But look at that Nasdaq sell off. They didn't like that.
Not
But
at
it looks like
all.
the yen. Yeah, looks like the yen got the biggest sell off, followed by the Canada dollar. So those were the main ones. Um, and when all is said and done, Michael, I have a huge list of items today on
Oh
my watch
man.
list.
Okay.
Look at
Okay.
this. Much I say huge, but it's not the biggest, but it's much bigger than it has been of over the last couple weeks. So gold still at the top, bullish score of 11. Silver's climbing a little bit; it's at an 8 now. But yeah, Aussie Canada dollar currency pair came all the way to tie gold, so it's just as bullish as gold now. which makes sense because, partly because I know gold is a big deal in Australia, right? So, but yeah, you had the Aussie CAD up, Aussie yen right behind it at a 9, and then New Zealand CAD. So some of these funky currency pairs that aren't necessarily the higher ATR, meaning they don't move as much as like the dollar yen or pound yen or euro yen, some of these other ones. So we're going to get down into some other crazy currency pairs, it looks like, this week. And I kind of went through and I started to go through my alerts. I'll be honest with you. I didn't get everything set up, but we'll still take a look at a few of them here in a bit. So yeah, New Zealand CAD, pound CAD. I mean, we got a lot of scores that are, much higher than 5. Now, 5 or a -5 makes it onto my list, and I know you know this, but
Right.
for the chat, I like to see 6s and 7s and 8s, right? Because like right here, we got the pound dollar. It's a 5. It's a bullish score. Well, it just takes one, maybe the, what was it? The, maybe the PPI data that we get on Wednesday, right? If that's a positive report for the dollar, then all it takes is just that right there to knock it back down to neutral, meaning I'm not getting a very strong bullish reason to go out and time a trade on a chart. So that's why I like to stick to the 6s and the 7s or higher, or the -6s, -7s or lower. So yeah, it's all about being picky. But no, this makes me happy. This makes me happy to have a nice big fat list. When it comes to obviously the economic data and then to technical and the sentiment analysis. So, but as far as the bearish, got one very bearish, and that's the CAD Swiss. And then we got the Euro Aussie right behind it at -8. And then, of course, the CAD yen at -5. So, yeah, I mean, just from a quick glance, my favorites is obviously gold. And actually, Aussie dollar is one of my favorites. I was just looking at it a minute ago, and I'm actually waiting to see if I can get a move on it. Yeah, I'm just waiting on it to come down to touch this demand right here. Right here. So loved the push up that we had on Friday. Now we did have quite the rejection once price did raise up there. So that's a little bit of a concern because we had some sellers step in quite hard and knock it all the way down close to the zone. So probably going to be a little careful with this if I try to get into this buy, just because of that big ugly wick on the top end of that otherwise, bullish candle since it closed past the 50% level, right?
Gotcha.
Just barely, about 60%. So bullish overall, and if we refine that down to a 1 hour, then we can see that big bearish candle right there that just kind of reversed everything after that initial move up. So probably going to just kind of limp into this with a, just like a, I don't know, I'll probably take half my risk off, to be honest, from what I normally do. Let me take a look at something real quick, Mike. Give me just 1 second.
Yes.
Just getting updated.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I'm actually going to jump off really quick just to kind of see if we can fix this. But I'll be right back. Yeah. Tiger, you keep going. Let me jump off really quick.
Yeah, no problem. Guys. Yeah, sounds good. All right. Sounds good. So, all right. So, ladies and gents in the chat, let me get caught up on you guys and gals. Gold super hit. That's right. I'm still on it. That's still my favorite animal. Coach Paul G in the house. Weekend was great, brother. Can't wait to chat with you Monday night on Quiet Markets. So good stuff. But yeah, this is my list, ladies and gents. We're just going to take a look at some of these. Now, gold obviously being at the top of the list. Well, that's actually what I'm on now. So I'm just going to go down to my 4-hour chart. So obviously the end of 2 Fridays ago, we had that close above that gigantic, that long-term resistance point. And then price just flew up really nicely this past week. Did get that pull back here. I was initially wanting to jump into a buy long in this area here, but as you can see, it just didn't get down there, right? I mean, that was my play right there. But price left before we had a chance to get into it. Well, could possibly have been that it was pretty close to this mini resistance point over here. I don't know. Let's go down. I don't remember if I saw any type of demand zone in that area or not. But we'll take a quick peek just so I can see what turned that around. Yeah, pretty much this little spot here. I mean, sometimes the zone doesn't look the greatest, and you had just nothing but wicks ups and wicks down on this little section of price action. So clearly that's where the rejection came in. Probably looks a little better on the 10-minute though. I like to see red candles when I'm looking at demand zones. So yeah, right there. There's your demand zone that caused price to reverse. And I would probably, to be quite transparent, I probably would have included all three of those candles just to get a little bit more, a little bit more wiggle room. So there you go. Look at that. I mean, price just came down beautifully. And right there into that demand zone. Touched and ran off. Touched and goed. Touch and go. Right? So that's not anything that was necessarily on my radar, but you can see the power of supply and demand. Sometimes they'll just run off without you on a smaller time frame. I prefer the higher time frames, but these smaller time frame zones can get you some good trades at times. So, but yeah, but again, that's in the past now. So we got to look for the next move. So I still like this area down here, but we obviously have this closer 4-hour demand. And if I look at that on a smaller time frame, let's go down to like a 15. Yeah, I mean, even on the smallest time frames, right? We've got all kinds of fair value gaps. So this is obviously the result of Friday's non-farm payroll, right? So this is normal. We always see big giant moves. Not always, but most of the time it seems like, at least of late on the NFP. But yeah, just gigantic, beautiful fair value gap. And it doesn't matter what time frame you go down to, even a 1 minute, right? That thing just screamed up. So when prices scream like that, well, you can clearly see we had a ton of trading in that area. I don't know, that's a 1 minute, but if I go back to that 4-hour, yeah, you had a couple candles actually there to basing candles. Yeah, probably more than I like, to be honest with you. I prefer only to see 1 or 2 or 3 candles. Yeah, you could probably count all these in. So it's a little bit more candles than I want, which is why part of the reason why I said, if we get price to come down to that zone, well, I'll still buy it as long as I get a reversal pattern, like a bullish engulfing or something with a tail underneath. But I'll just be a little careful on the risk. I don't want to this ain't a grade set. This is not a grade A setup. Yes, we had that huge, awesome move with the NFP's assistance, but that's what I would call like a scout trade, right? Not a scalp, scout, 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 meaning I want to test the waters. But if it breaks through that demand, then this is my favorite spot down here on gold. That's actually a 360-minute zone. There we go, demand zone, right? On a 6-hour chart, that's the last red candle before the move up. And same thing, we had a fair value gap, a really nice fair value gap. So that to me shows strength in this zone, right? Where the buyers and the sellers were in agreement on price for that short period of time. I mean, heck, you could pretty much include all this area too, right? All 5 of those candles. But I'm just mainly looking at that red one, or that red. And it's a red candle, by the way, but I use an order block filter just to help, find my zones. I mean, I've done it for 10 years, but it's nice to have an indicator that just does it for you, right? It's just a tiny bit quicker. And when you're looking for zones all day, every day, at those tiny seconds that you save, they add up. So, but that's why I like to use that. So yeah, when I turn it off though, you can see it's a red candle, but whenever it's on, it actually colors them the opposite color. So yeah, that's really I've got the 2 options right there. My favorite is this one, but I will definitely test the waters here. High on the curve, but you guys clearly saw gold doing gold things, right? Gold at a very bullish score. It's been tough Michael, it's been tough getting in on trades for some of these assets. It really has. Because they've just been flying up so fast. So, I'm interested in just finding the nearest demand zone, to be honest with you. I mean, I prefer to, and I like it. I like everything about the zone. Obviously, I love the volume. I love the fair value gap. I love that it broke
Right.
this high here. So, but again, I'm not going to put a full position. I may put a half a position, and then obviously I'd put in a full
Yeah.
position down in this area. So yeah, that's gold. That's gold in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Hannibal.
Bro has not been wanting to let anybody get in. Like this
Yeah,
thing is just running. That's it. No
yeah,
pullbacks, no nothing. Just running.
yeah, and the last thing we want to do is break our rules and just buy the breakouts, because breakouts quite often
Exactly.
normally retest, right? We don't want to buy the crab legs at full price. We need a discount, because just
Right.
as sure as this breaks and flies up like it did, yeah, there were people that bought the breakout here, made a lot of money probably, as long as they sold near the top. But if they didn't sell, then well, they just lost half of it right there. But of course, it kept going. So
Yep.
it's hindsight, right? We're not psychic.
Right.
We're not Nostradamus. We don't know when price is going to break out. We don't know when price is going to retrace. So that's just why it's important to try to buy at discount as often as you can, rather than retail. So anyway, that was good. Michael, did you have anything you were watching at the moment before I deep
At the
dive into
moment,
this?
no, but I'm glad you said that because I feel like you are going to do a deep dive. So I do want to show something really quick.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I want to show my AUD CAD chart from Friday.
Yeah, let's do
I
that.
like marked this up really good. It kind of showed a lot of good stuff on it, and I was thinking that this would be good to show. Um, so yeah, back in we can get my screen pulled up here. That would be
Yeah.
great. I want to show something. Cool. So I don't know if I'm sure you do remember, but my I took AUD CAD on Friday. This was the move that I took. It was right over here. I took this in session. Right, it was right there.
I'll,
And let me change this
I have to
to
follow along
green.
on the
Yeah,
on
I
my
know. I
chart.
know.
Yeah, Chat can see it. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So I took this trade on Friday where the green vertical line is. And reason being is everything's on a chart, so you can easily follow along, right? We have our 5,200 cross, so we know we are in level 2, and we know we're long. Why? Because the 50 is above the 200. That's long. It crossed to the upside. Now that box is right there shortly afterwards that says this is nothing. There was no reload on the TDI. It's just what it says. That is not the move we were looking for. All right. Now the next move, and let me just scoot this down just a bit so you can get the full boom there, and then I'll do this too. Right now, this second move, where this second box is, which is right here, right? That was the move. That is the half a bat off the 200. I mean, I love and hate saying the same thing all the time, right? But it should go to show that if you're kind of following along to what I'm pointing out on these sessions, that this happens every day. A version of it,
Yeah.
whether you can get in or not, that's something different. But when I point out this is what I'm looking for and it happens, I mean, I can't make this up. This is just the market maker cycle, and that's what I'm trying to capitalize on. It's my setups, my process, right? So we got that half a bat off the 200, right, and it was a 1 for 1 1/4, not bad at all. Had the outside the band, as you can see. You had the small reload. It ran up slightly, whatever. But as I always say, and this is where it comes in at, after the 5,200 cross, and you have the move off the 200, which is the white one, right? So the 5,200 crosses, then you have the move off the 200, which in this case, the move, there's only 3 moves, right? Well, there's 4, but one of them we don't take. There's the half a bat, which is what we see now. There's the W, or there's the head and shoulders pattern, right? Those are the only 3 that we're taking. If they make the V, we're not taking that. So that's the only one we
Right.
don't take. But as I always say, the move after the 200 move is the move off the 50, which is why if you look to the right, it says level 2 money trade, which is the bounce off of the 50 EMA, the blue one, right? So this is a perfect example of what I have written here of how the market makers move the news. I put move the news, but move the news. I guess I meant to put during. Yeah, move during the news. That's what I should have put. You guys know I can't spell. Move during the news. Right? On NFP Friday. Perfect example of how they do it. But yeah, this was a great move. Obviously, as you probably remember, I think I made $9 off this, something super low. And what happens after that? As soon as we close it and NFP comes out, this thing shoots up. As you see, I put with a smack TP. Right?
Yeah,
like,
would have.
Of course, this is hindsight. Yeah, this is hindsight, but kind of not really because this is the next expected move in the cycle, right? I just don't want to take a risk that they run down and then run the other way. But this could have been a 6-1. Them sneaky bastards, a 6-1 trade.
Yeah,
just annoying. Sometimes this is really, really annoying.
Yeah, and I tell you what. Sometimes you got to swallow our pride because I got out of a losing trade right before that hit. I'm like, oh, well, what's another in my head? I'm like, because I was already halfway to my stop loss. So it wasn't, what was that? WT, the Nikkei, I think it was. But I was already halfway to my stop loss. There's always that game in your head like, well, it's only another halfway to the stop loss. Should I just keep it open and chance that it's going to benefit my trade? I'm like, no, I can't break my rules. Got to get the heck out. So that's tough to do.
Right.
I mean, I think it's a little easier to do when you are up in profit, right? Maybe you got 30, 40, 50 pips profit, open profit, I should say, unrealized. But even then, you're like, I don't want to lose everything I just gained. Either way, it's just best to get the heck out of the trade because you just never know which direction it's going to go. So, yeah.
Yeah, because as you can see right here, right? Like this was my stop. Like let's just kind of zoom this in. This was my trade, right? This could have, and let me scoot this back down because clearly it wasn't the 6-1. It was, I don't know, I was targeting probably 2. I actually don't remember. I know it was more than 1, but let's just put it at 1.5. Right? Actually, let's just put it at 2 just to keep it regular. Look at this. Look at this arrow. This thing came, just kind of scooted over here. Right? This arrow came super close to, you should be able to follow along with me right now, too, Tiger, on the regular screen.
The regular screen?
But this came
we're back.
Close. Okay.
Yeah. Nice.
To the to my stop loss, right? Super close. Who's to say that, this wouldn't have, and what can I do here? Yeah, that this wouldn't have come down just a little bit more. That's a super crooked, whatever. But who's to say that it couldn't do that? Right. So for me, not even being funny, I just always let it go because I have the weirdest good bad luck ever. I swear, it's the craziest thing. My girl says this all the time. Like, of course, this happens when I get out of the trade, but this happens in my life every day. Like I'm sitting there on my phone for the longest, Tiger. Nothing happens. I get no calls or whatever it is. But the moment I leave my phone and I get up and walk away and get all the way upstairs, my phone rings. I'm like, why does that happen so often? Right? It's the weirdest, best luck ever. One of the days I'm like, I'm doing something. I think we were going to the bank. We were in Atlanta, by the way. So this was years ago, but it's a perfect example. I am, the banks were closed. I was trying to do something. And I'm like, why in the world why is this happening? I'm like pretty upset, to be totally honest. And I'm so upset. We go to like the third bank. I walk outside and guess what happens? I step into some dog poop. And I'm like, are you serious? After all of that, but it's the law of attraction, right? You kind of spiral in those moments. If you can't catch it, you spiral. So I try my best to not let that happen. Yep.
Sometimes it comes in 2s and 3s, right?
Exactly. So it's like, all right, I need to, catch myself. So bringing that to trading, since I didn't take the trade, of course it would have not stopped me out. Of course. But experience says me being in it, this would have definitely stopped me out for some reason. And also keep in mind too, just because the chart shows that it only went here, the spread was definitely widening at this particular point. So the spread could have knocked me out.
Oh yeah,
you know
for
what
sure.
I mean? So I'm trying not to, get too crazy about it. But this happens all the time. If you remember, it was on US 30. The same thing happened on US 30. Right? The same exact thing. I don't know if you remember this, but this was in session.
Yeah.
We had the 5200 cross here. Let me point it out. We had the 5200 cross. This was during the speech. I trade too, and I got out right around here, and right after the speech. I mean, right after I got out, the speech came. This thing up once again.
Yeah.
So this happens all the time.
Yeah. It does.
Right.
But it's the wise thing to do. Just get that
half of that move off the 200. The same exact thing happened. So, it is what it is. But it's one of those things where just how I can point this out and say, oh, this happens all the time, right? And being able to identify that, this is the same technique, same process to be able to identify the next move in the cycle when it comes to this market maker setup. Right. So the fact that I closed the trade here and it's clearly shot up way past, it's like, of course that'll happen. Right. Of course that happens. But yeah, just wanted to kind of point that out. Again, this is the perfect example of how the market makers move during the news, especially on NFP Friday. So I thought that was cool. I just wanted to kind of show that. And yeah, once again, they did it. They moved during the news. And this is why I like to wait, right, until, and yeah, one will argue and say, well, why don't you take it on two accounts and have one account that's riskier and you don't close it, but you're a more conservative account that you're growing. Why don't you close it on that? I have nothing to say to that. That's not a bad idea. Maybe I would try that. Maybe I should.
Yeah, well, I mean, well, that reminds me. I mean, there was a short time several years ago where I would put a buy stop order in and a sell stop, 10 pips above and 10 pips below current price, like 10 seconds before whatever report came out, right? That because you're going to catch it either way. You're going to catch it one way or another.
Yeah.
And then as soon as price hits one of those limit orders, then you just immediately go and cancel the one that was for the opposite way. It sounds good in theory, but you can also get tapped out twice because some of these reports will give you a big giant wick up and down before you can even blink. So then you're taking a double loss. Yeah. So I don't know. It sounds fun. And again, I kind of looked at that. Like that's something where you would want to, that would be perfect for your gambling account or what'd you call it? Your fun account, your fun money account.
Yeah. My bully account. Yeah. My casino account, my bully account. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's, it's not, I mean, at the end of the day, as fun as it sounds to try that, we have to stop and think now, does that make me smart or does that make me a gambler? Right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So like you and I we've been around this game long enough. We'll feel in our stomach and we'll know, oh, that was a cheap win. Or that was, there was no skill involved in that. It's almost like an ego thing. But it can be dangerous too. Sure. I mean, I wouldn't advise anybody out there, especially brand new, don't even think about trying that. But
no,
there's people that
definitely some experience videos on it.
Yeah, it's
and you're right. Yeah, there's a lot of guys who like when I see traders who are like killing it and they're on an interview or whatever and they're like they asking the question like, so do you worry about the news? And they're like, no, I don't even check the news. I'm like, what? I'm like, how is this guy making it, and he's not even checking the news. I'm like, that blows my mind. I think that goes at the top of
Yeah.
my blow my mind list when trading. Like, you're
Yeah.
not looking at the news. Like,
No,
wow,
it's
that's
crazy.
I don't even know what to say. I don't
Yeah.
even know what
I
to
mean,
say.
it's okay for if somebody wants to just be a technical analysis only trader, but you at least got to be aware of the big, like the NFP report. I guarantee you, if that
Right,
dude's not checking the news, he's going to take a loss, unnecessary loss.
right.
So, you don't have to go full blown economist wannabe like me and go through all the details. I just enjoy doing it. I love doing it. It makes me feel a lot more confident about my trades and all that. But yeah, at
Right.
least be aware of what's coming out, so you stay away from
No,
the
one
freight
hundred
train.
percent, 100%. I think about it all the time when I'm like, yeah, that is insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
I wonder how
But
they.
yeah, I
I
know a
wonder
lot
how
of
they
them are
do
like
it.
swing traders. They'll trade it on like the 4 hour chart or like the daily. So I'm like, at least you're not so
Yeah.
close to the action. Your stop's probably
Right.
a lot further. Maybe that doesn't
Yeah.
affect you as much, but it's still mind blowing.
Mhm.
Like, what do you mean? You don't look at the news at all?
Yeah.
At all?
Yeah. That's. I mean, I can understand it a little bit on the higher time frames. Like, obviously, I trade primarily off the 4 hour supply and demand. I still want to know exactly where every piece of news is. But I could understand it
Right.
if you're trading daily time supply and demand zones, or maybe even weekly supply and demand zones. That's a little bit different story.
No,
But
right.
yeah, anything under a day, you got to be aware of it. In my opinion. As far as
Yeah.
execution time frame, let me clarify that. Execution time frame. So anything daily or less, I think. But to each their own, right? I mean, if they're making money off of it, they're either really good or really lucky.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's take a look.
Anyway, I'll consider it. Now, since I got an extra
Yeah.
account that I didn't really expect to do anything with, maybe I'll try it.
Chat,
Right. So
cover your ears
I'll
while he
grow.
says this.
Maybe
No, but
I'll think
I mean,
about
I've got it. Yeah, I've played around with it too. I mean, it's on smaller, obviously smaller risk, but
it.
no,
Right,
it's
for sure.
you know it, that's our equivalence of going to the casino and playing the slot machine.
Dude, it is. It really is. Because technically, like you
Yeah,
said, that's not the right thing to do. You know that. You should
yeah,
close the trade. In fact, it feels funny even holding during the news. I know you tense up just a little bit, like, you got to make a little, clench up your muscles when you're doing it. No. That's
yeah.
how wrong it is.
That's all good. But yeah, that's definitely more advanced stuff. Everybody right now on the stream that's newer, just focus on risk management, because there's nothing more
For
important in
sure.
trading than capital conservation. That is the number one job
Preservation.
you
Yep.
have. Yes, this is
Yep.
a job, right? This
Number one.
this isn't a slot machine. This isn't a gamble. This is calculated risk is really all it is. So if you can get good at
Yep.
capital conversation, you're a big way there already, without even going into all the details on techniques and analysis. Yeah, that's just, man. I tell you what, we got sick of hearing them drill that into our heads at the academy I went to, but I'm glad they did. We didn't forget it. So, well, cool. Yeah. Cool, man. Yeah, no, that's good stuff. That's some good stuff. We got about 9 minutes here.
Yeah.
I was,
Yeah, I just wanted to show
I
that
was,
went longer than I thought. So you probably can't even do the
yeah,
full
no,
deep
that's fine.
dive. Like, you might have to do it on the
That's
morning
fine.
session.
No, that's totally fine. I just mainly, for the purposes of this time we have, I was just going to kind of go over one or two other charts on the U.S. dollar and such. So yeah, back end if you can. Flip on over. I'll close this out real quick. We'll kind of take a look at the economic surprise speed gauges. I haven't shown these in a while. So yeah, after the NFP and everything was quite suspect the other day, the U.S. dollar is all the way down to a 30% So that just simply means for everybody in the chat, if an economic report comes out and they hit that number right on the head or within like a few, percentage, like a few very, very tiny percent up or down, then that's a neutral reading. So those reports don't calculate into this speed gauge. The only thing that calculates into this speed gauge is if a report beats expectations or if it misses expectations. So it's really as simple as that. So what this is basically saying is only 30% of those reports beat expectations. So obviously 70% missed expectation. So that's why the dollar has been having some challenges, right? But it's not as bad as the Swiss franc. Look at that. It's a 17%. So it's actually been struggling as far as missing expectations, kind of like this key over here shows. Lower score indicates the majority of economic metrics have recently missed expectations relative to forecast. So it's all about the outperformance or underperformance of the currencies. That's really what this is for. On the opposite end of it, though, the pound seems to be the one that's been been exceeding expectations on most things. So yeah, we got the dollar, so that's a 30%. So let's take a quick look at the U.S. dollar heat map. That way you guys can see what the big banks and institutions are looking at. Obviously, this is a big key reason why they are pretty well locked to drop the rates, 25 basis points. And I haven't even looked today. I know it was up to like 98% the other day. Okay, so we're sitting at 92% right now. So 92% probability that they'll drop 25 basis points on the 17th. Okay, so yeah, this is a big reason why. As always, the dates you see in yellow are reports that were released within the last 7 days. And it's just been a bloodbath. You had one positive report, and that was the services PMI back on the 4th, so Thursday. Other than that, everything else has been bearish. Jobless claims, right. JOLTS job opening, ADP, non-farm, obviously on Friday that we had. And then, the manufacturing PMI. So it's just been a bloodbath economically, right? That's not looking too pretty. So that's why the dollar is only at a 30%. And they actually edited this last week. So now they throw in a separate speed gauge for just the jobs, just the inflation data, and just the growth data.
Oh, really? So they just added that to it?
Yeah, they just added this last week. So jobs is at a 0%. Nice. So no jobs, all the jobs reports have been missing expectations. Yeah, that's a big reason why it's all the way down to 30%. So it's just looking not too great at the moment for the dollar. Now, as far as my top setups, though, let me go back to that real quick. I always hide it on my gold chart since that seems to be the most popular thing right now. So yeah, you got one report, Aussie dollar, that's that's on my list as far as selling the dollar, and then the pound dollar. So the other dollar pairs currently are still in neutral, but that's why gold and silver, that's why the metals are doing so well. It's because of all that negative U.S. data. I mean, it's really just as simple as that. So we got 4 minutes. I'll take one look on one last chart, and we'll just take a look at CAD Swiss Euro Aussie just to see something to short. Because I am still. Oh, actually, we'll round out the show with this. So Aussie dollar. This is the one I was looking to. This is the one I was looking to buy. So again, Aussie dollar giving me a bullish score of a 7. So that's a strong bullish score. Okay, you only have one item going against the bullish bias, the bullish narrative, and that's the seasonality. Aussie dollar pair typically goes down in this month. Okay, so but that's just one piece. Everything else is either neutral or bullish. We got really good employment change numbers. Trend obviously looking pretty good. The retail positioning. So the retail trader, the average retail trader, is net short. Net short is a bullish signal. It's a buy signal because most traders lose, right? It's a sad stat, but at the end of the day, we profit off of it when we know how to do it. So that's why I'm looking to buy into this trade here. So, in fact, okay, so we got no fair value. Yeah, we got a little bit of a fair value here. Yeah, I'm going to put a partial position on this. I'll update this on Forex Fire in the morning. But yeah, I'm gonna jump into a buy off this demand zone since it finally dropped. So we'll just throw a stop loss. In fact, I may even do this, Michael, on my main account here in a minute after the stream ends. 65.38. Okay, so it's already
AUD USD.
And, yeah, 0.6587 as far as a profit. Yeah, I'm pretty confident about this one. So we'll just throw a 50 spot on there and buy it since we're chilling. Love it. So we're in Aussie dollar. I'll talk about this in the morning, Michael, first thing whenever we hop on Forex Fire.
I won't be here. I won't be on.
Oh, that's right. It's Alex. Okay. So yeah. Alex and Richard. So sweet. Good.
I'll be back on Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay. And then Tuesday is Alex as well, and Richard's off. I think that's the way it's set up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday, same thing for Monday. So I'm on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday now, it looks like.
Tuesday. Oh, really? Oh, I just looked at the schedule. I thought, well, either way, I'll look at that off stream. But okay. Sounds good, brother. Well, yeah. This is just to finish out everybody. I mean, this is going to be, we got quite a bit of opportunities in currency world. I mean, I've pretty much talked mostly.
This should be a great trading week, and I'm calling this now. Just like last week, I said I was going to be a tough trading week because too much news. This is the exact opposite. You should make some money this week trading. Seriously.
Yes, that is right. I'm excited for this week. Last week was like, yeah. So, yeah, because my list last week. Remember my list last week? Like pretty much 60% of everything was a 5. 70%. Right. I only had gold and silver as, a strong bullish, and I had the dollar, yen, dollar, Swiss, but as you can see, they're completely off the list now. So It's game on, Michael. I'm gonna do a deep dive after we get off of here, but and you'll be on here in a
hang
couple
on tight,
hours.
Guys. Right? We'll jump on in another in 2 more hours. I'll jump back on with Coach Tony, for the quiet market session. Kick this thing on off, and we'll catch you then.
Awesome, man.
Tiger, I'm gonna see you on Tuesday, man. You got it done.
All right, I'm gonna go cheer my Titans. I'll talk to you later, boss.
Take it easy. All right.
Thanks a lot.
Hola Prime. Trade with transparency.